Hello and welcome to the show. I'm creating these little mini episodes with you. My name's Esther Stanhope, the Impact Guru, with a special guest because it's about navigating our way around these remote meetings and being on Zoom and watching ourselves back on camera. And my background's in television. I worked at the BBC for 10 years and I still hate watching myself back. So today, why do we hate watching ourselves on camera? Why do we hate the sound of our own voice? And joining me to help us answer that question and to give us some good tips on how to handle watching ourselves back on all of these remote meetings is Olivia James, therapist and anxiety expert. And you also help dealing with traumas, don't you, Olivia?
Sure.
Olivia, welcome to our mini show. How are you?
Thank you. Thanks. I'm groovy. Thanks for having me.
That's great. Now, the reason why we decided to create these mini episodes is because we were chatting the other day and we were coming up with all of these tips on, first of all, why is it so traumatic watching ourselves back? Why are we getting tired doing all these Zoom calls? And how are we handling all the criticism that's coming at us doing these online remote meetings? But today we're going to be focusing on watching ourselves back or seeing ourselves on camera. Now, Olivia, from a psychological point of view, why do we hate ourselves? I mean, I hate myself too.
There is obviously a huge amount of the psychological part of it is our own inner critic, where we think, oh my God, do I really look like that? Like, do I really sound like that? And so the kind of the sound part of it has got two parts. One is when you hear your voice in your own head, it gets amplified because it comes out through the bony structure, so it's actually lower in your own head than it is when you hear it back on a recording. So that's one part. Everybody hears you like that. It's just everyone's used to it.
So hang on, are you saying when you hear yourself back, it's going to be higher pitched?
Yes.
Oh no, because I've got a little trick. If you want to hear the sound of your own voice, try this. Like, put one hand to your ear and the other hand like that. Right, and you can just whisper. This is the sound of your voice. Just whisper and then talk. Hello, good morning. This is the sound of your voice. But I can really hear my S's, or is it because I have very pronounced S's? So you try that. You try to. It's really weird. My son taught me this. This is how
it's really cool.
You can hear your own voice. Right? Can you hear the sound of your own voice? Now,
yes.
I've got loads of tips on how to have a better voice, but in terms of how to love your own voice, I've been in broadcasting for 20 years and now I've been making videos and doing tips like this for another 8 years or so, right? And after 28 years, I still don't really like the sound of my own voice. Olivia, why is that? And what about if it's holding people back?
If it's holding people back, then they can get some help with that. Obviously, like you said, like you can work on your own voice. You can work with an expert to get your resonance and your pronunciation and to have you be more clear. But if there is a deep psychological issue, then you might need to get some help, and that's certainly something I can help people with, because we want to get your voice out there. You have something to say. You might not think you have something valuable to say, but you do. So I think it's a shame for people to feel that that's holding them back.
Have you got like a quick fix of, I hate the sound of my own voice? What's your answer? Have you got a quick one-line answer?
Well, there's a good technique that you can use. I think we're going to talk about in a minute that could help you.
Okay.
This tapping technique that can help you with this sort of inner critic part of.
Oh, hang on, hold with the tapping, because I think we're gonna talk about generally watching yourself back. So why is it that we hate watching ourselves back? Is it because we're in denial about ourselves and we actually thought we were going to look like a model or something?
Yes, exactly.
And we see ourselves and we're like, oh.
Yeah. Obviously, there are practical things you can do. Like, you are great at helping people like set up the shot better and to like look as good as possible, like give yourself the best possible chance, like the way we set up this shot. Like, we made sure that we were both framed pretty well and all the rest of it. Now also, so when I look in the mirror, I look at myself, I look fine. And then if I see a picture of myself from the side, I go, gosh, do I really look like that? And like, and part of it is because we only see ourselves normally from one angle when we look at ourselves straight in the mirror. Otherwise, unless you're going to be doing lots of selfies from different angles, you don't actually see what you look like from different angles. So that's a part of it. But once again, the psychological inner critic part is big. Plus the fact that we're comparing ourselves with other people all the time. There's the whole Instagram generation. There's all the filters and all the rest of it. And, you must have friends who say to you, oh, darling, I'm thinking about having some work done. I hate this bit of my face. And you have to really, really look and think, I hadn't even noticed until you pointed it out. But it gets magnified for them, right?
Yeah, sure.
So the tiniest little things get magnified.
Whereas, I mean, I always say, when someone says, I hate myself, I hate watching myself back, I hate my voice, my main answer to that is, you might hate it, but your audience loves it. Yeah. You're the only one that doesn't like it. So I've got a quick tip on watching yourself back. First of all, your audience loves you. Your audience likes you. Your audience doesn't see that you have a droopy left mouth. Like one of my clients was like, oh, my mouth is all lopsided. I was like, I didn't even notice. And then when she told me, I was like, maybe it is a bit lopsided. Yeah. I never noticed, oh, my eyebrow droops here. I've got a weird tick when I speak, and I never noticed it. They showed me. But my main tip about watching yourself back is watch yourself back 3 times. Yes, 3 times. The first time, allow yourself for your inner critic to scold you and hate you for a few moments. Just let yourself, go, oh, I hate that. I hate that. Oh, I'm so disgusting. My voice. One of my clients actually changed her entire wardrobe after watching herself back once. So the first time, watch yourself back and allow yourself to just get it out of your system. I hate myself. I hate it. It's awful. Second time you watch yourself back, try and just look at the person that you're watching. What kind of person are they? What are they saying? How do they come across? What kind of status are they? Do you believe them? Do they come across as relaxed, trustworthy? Would you listen to what they're saying? And then your inner critic's kind of gone away a little bit this time, because you're analyzing the content a bit more. And then the third and final time, just imagine that you're just watching telly. You're a viewer. You're sitting there. You're not really paying that much attention. And try and watch it as if you're just watching television, like click. Oh, it's just a usual television program. And when you find yourself actually watching yourself back as if you're just watching television, then you can really, really get a sense of, you can properly get a sense of that performance, that person, and then you can be much more objective about things that you might want to change. But if you just want to change things because you personally hate them, that's probably not the best reason to change anything. That's right. And what's your tapping tip?
I love that. I really like that sort of fun thing of really playing with that inner critic. That's one of the things I do in my therapy work sometimes as well. This thing
good.
Called cognitive therapy, where you kind of turn up that stuff. And sometimes it might be even more fun to do that with someone else. Then what you do is with all your 3 different stages of watching yourself back, you can add a technique called tapping, which is a Meridian tapping technique that calms your nervous system down.
Oh.
So you just tap on these points, and it sends relaxing, calming signals to your amygdala, so your fight-flight organ in your brain. And it reduces your stress hormone.
Oh, what's this one? Show me this one. Am I doing it in the right place?
Nail bed.
I'm tapping my thumb.
Correct. And then the top of each finger, the top of the nail bed. Can you see my finger?
Yeah.
Manicure, by the way.
Yes. Do we have to do DIY manicures while we're in lockdown?
Seriously, we have to do DIY.
Oh my goodness, you're doing the whole thing. And you can do it with the same hand as well then?
Exactly. And this is a brilliant technique that I taught to somebody doing a keynote to 500 people, and he was tapping the whole way through the keynote.
But you've got to be careful not to show people that you're tapping. So if you're watching yourself back, right, if I'm tapping, my hands are in my lap, I'm now tapping, and I might be watching myself back. Do you think, what does the tapping do? It just relaxes you? What does it do?
Yeah, it sends calming signals to the amygdala, which is the fight, flight, freeze response. It reduces your cortisol, your stress hormone. So it just tends to smooth everything down. So all the she's like, yeah, I'm doing it.
Can you do 2 in 1?
You can do both sides.
Right.
Basically, this works on your Meridian system. And I know it looks barking mad, but there's been a lot of research now showing that it's actually very effective. And even our own NICE, the National Institute for Clinical Excellence in Health, have just recommended it for research for post-traumatic stress in adults. So it's definitely promising. It looks crazy.
No, I like this. Except if you were in a meeting, you might not. If you were in a public place, you might not be able to get away with it.
What you can do is you can do this under the table.
Yeah.
And you can rub the points as well. So I teach this to pretty much all my clients, and they really, really like it. So it's a way to, while you're doing something stressful, like watching yourself back, to smooth kind of your reactions down a little bit.
Right.
So
Okay.
It bothers you less, basically. Your fight, flight, freeze response gets calmed down and turned down.
That's fantastic. And actually, I can see that tapping would work on many levels in many stressful situations, as long as you've got a little bit of privacy to do it. Thank you so much, Olivia, for joining me on this mini episode of our show of how to handle difficult Zoom meetings and remote meetings and conference calls. And I think we're going to do another episode in a moment. We've got to do our Shirley Bassey change of clothes. But thank you so much. And if you want to find out more about Olivia, or you want to ask questions about anxiety or how to ace your remote meetings, please email me, esther@estherstanhope.com, or go to my website, which will be coming up at the end of the film. Thank you for joining us, and see you next time. Happy tapping. And now for a quick Shirley Bassey costume change. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.